I need something to prop this up onto. 1 second, folks. Hope you all are doing well. Welcome to another episode of The Walking David. Today I'm going to be reviewing the last 2 episodes of Game of Thrones, Season 7. Beyond the Wall and the Dragon and the Wolf. Let me see. Is there a box in here I can set my shit on? I apologize if it looks kind of blurry. Don't know why it does that. It does that when I do live streams from my phone. So it makes the quality even worse. Don't know what to tell you. It's just kind of the way it is. Go. Is this gonna work? Who knows? What's up, broke black man? Yeah, dude, share it. I wasn't able to tell people about it, really, just because of the fact that I chose to do it so last minute. Well, that's okay. I think it could be brighter. Maybe it's because my brightness is down on my phone. Maybe it looks fine. It looks okay. It looks a little hazy, but whatever. We will make do. So, let's get into it. The last couple of episodes of Game of Thrones have come and gone. And let's talk about this stuff. So, we got Beyond the Wall. Good name of an episode. Good start there. Let's go through some of the points that happened. Without all this tedious shit. I'm scrolling through an article right now that's talking about it, just so I can remember what points I wanted to bring up. Blah, blah, blah. But, let's talk about the overall premise of the A-Team going beyond the wall to find a walker so that they can bring it to King's Landing to show Cersei, to prove to her that, in fact, the Army of the Dead is real and that it is the thing that you should be fighting against. Well, that is a very, I'd say mediocre premise at best. You know, I don't think, and to tell people about, like, the Army of the Dead, I mean, especially to Cersei, it's like, you know, you're not going to convince this woman. I think the best way to have convinced Cersei would have just been to fly a dragon straight to King's Landing and been like, tell you what, when she's in the courtyard, we're going to burn the Red Keep while she's in the courtyard. And then we're going to say, listen, we could have burned you while you were inside of it, but we were merciful, so come and join us, or the next time you'll be asleep in there. No, it does not. It says that I'm sure it says that I can share the stream. If you can, tell the Discord, tell, like, Phil and friends of Phil to come on in here. We got a few people watching right now. What's going on, folks? Talking about the last 2 episodes of Game of Thrones and how all that feels. What's up, Claudio? How you doing? Jesus, none of these articles. These articles about Game of Thrones, they suck so much balls. They try to act like they're, like, revealing stuff that have been blatantly obvious. They're like, did you know that Jon might be a Targaryen? And I'm like, fuck off. Come on. I got a sound pad here. I don't know if that's helping at all, but I'm putting it next to my computer to try to help it absorb some of the humming noise. It was bothering me in the last one, and I apologize for anybody who had to deal with that. Oh, will you fucking just give me bullet points? When it talks about the next episode, it's got bullet points. D&D wanted to make their own Suicide Squad movie, so they made episode 6. Can I vent about how I hate that Jon is a Targaryen bit? Sure, go ahead. Type fast, and I will read it however you'd like. I've done it in every chat. I'll go for it. I'm definitely down. Hey, thanks for everybody who's liking it so far. I know I haven't even said anything that warrants that yet, but I appreciate the preemptive giving me the benefit of the doubt. It was the Fellowship of the Ring. What's weird is I hate to say that I was one of the few people who did enjoy the characters talking to each other. Beric Dondarrion talking with Jon, Tormund talking with the Hound. I thought the stupid jokes were pointless. It was like, you know, like, we have to make do with what we've got. You know, like, where's all, like, whoever wrote this episode was like, man, I really want a lot of gay jokes in this Game of Thrones episode. And it's really stupid. It would have been funny if that was like, Tormund was notorious for that. Like, anytime they went out on a hunt, like, he was just like gonna fuck dudes. And I bet you do, Claudio. Gosh, I look like a greasy motherfucker right now. That's because I put oil in my hair, and it's like on my forehead too, so I apologize. I'm like shimmering. I'm like the sun post-eclipse. What was the last episode without a cock joke? They really were just talking about redoing tile floors. That's all they were getting at. It was cock. Alan Vanderson, what's up, y'all? Stuff in my face. But you're listening, though. As you fucking should be. Like I was saying, I liked the dialogues between some of the characters. Not the stupid jokes, but I liked the exchange between Jorah and Jon Snow about the sword. I think you actually did need to have that, because one, it showed, hammered home Jon's honorable Ned Stark-like nature, saying, you know, this was meant for you, and although it was given to me as a gift, I don't, you know, it doesn't belong to me. And then Jorah, since his whole arc has been about humility and kind of accepting the mistakes that he has made in his life, sort of like Theon, he's about, you know, kind of not making amends, but coming to terms with who he was, who he is, and who he chooses to be. And so he gives the sword back to Jon and go, it was meant for you. It was given to you. It was meant for you. And so there's a nice mutual respect there, and I really did actually enjoy that. Let me see here if I can scroll down a little bit further. I know that the Beric conversation with Jon was odd for some people. I didn't mind the part where he's like, you know, you don't look much like your father, or whatever. You know, he's like, you must take after your mother. But it's sort of like, why couldn't these have been said in earlier seasons? I just don't understand why they're waiting till now to have these conversations. I'm glad that they're having the conversations, but it's kind of like, just don't even do it at a certain point. And they try to acknowledge the fact that they fucked up in how they told the story by, like, when they first bring Gendry on the mission, when Davos goes and gets him, that he's like, thought you might still be ruling. Remember when all of 4chan and the subreddit was saying that? I do. I'm not much of a plot device. Apologies for what you're about to see. I think sometimes this Lord of Light stuff is a little too amorphous, where, you know, it's so vague. It's almost like cold reading, where you just sort of say general things that you don't disagree with and you don't agree with. They're just kind of things, and then people just go, you said that. You know, like, that's all you can say. You know, we all die. The enemy always wins, and we still need to fight it. That's all I know. I like that. I thought oh, let's cut to the goddamn zombie polar bear. See what I mean? How random is that? When they showed the interviews after the episode or whatever, they go, yeah, you know, we always wanted to do a fucking polar bear, like a walker polar bear, and the show wouldn't let us do it. But eventually, they just ran out of excuses and they just let us do it. And I'm thinking, they should have told you to not do it again, because I thought that was fucking stupid. I'm sorry, it didn't really impress me or anything. It wasn't a cool death, and it didn't make any sense, because here's the deal. When Jorah ends up stabbing it after it attacks Thoros of Myr and, like, is doing the, it's like somebody just saw the movie The Revenant a week before they shot that, and they go, hey, you know that scene with Leo when he's wrestling the bear? Let's just do that, but on Game of Thrones. But, like, when Jorah stabs it with the dragon glass, one, you can't... There's not a good close-up shot to show that it's dragon glass. Two, the bear just kind of falls down. It doesn't disintegrate or anything like that. I don't know. I just thought it was kind of... maybe that's only what the White Walkers do. Maybe the White Walkers disintegrate and the other ones just kind of collapse. But the skeletons, when they killed one of the whites, they all, like, exploded. So I don't understand. Let's see. It also makes Ned a deeper character, not the perfect Jesus of Westeros. I vote for... Oh, sorry. I forgot about your earlier part. Claudio says, in regards to Jon, I prefer Jon's growth from a bastard to a lord. Jon Stark is way better written than Jon is secretly the inheritor of the Iron Throne. I would have loved to never find out his heritage. Good point. I'm sure a lot of people agree with you. Stannis. Claudio, it also makes Ned a deeper character, not the perfect Jesus of Westeros. I agree, because he did choose love, sort of like what Maester Aemon was saying, you know, and what is love compared to the feel of a newborn son in your arms, you know. I vote for stream comparing The Walking Dead Season 7 to Game of Thrones Season 7. Oh man, that'll have to be like a 7-hour stream. They already did a polar bear in the Jaime Brienne bear pit. Well, they did a brown bear. They didn't do a polar bear, but they did a bear. You're right. And that bear was way better. That was a way better scene. Jaime with one hand jumping down to save Brienne. I mean, that's great. You could write a ballad about that. Jaime the Kingslayer, Brienne the Beauty fighting a bear. Just sounds like a Game of Thrones thing. That budget deserved to go to Ghost. Whites are vulnerable to fire, yet the bear was on fire. Yeah, and it didn't seem to affect it one fucking iota. Apparently size does matter in the White Walker Kingdom. Aim for the head. That's how you kill a zombie. Yeah, Rick Grimes would have taken that bear out post-haste. He'd been like, give me some dragon glass bullets. I'll take care of you. Daryl's got a dragon glass crossbow. That's already a better premise. Just throw Rick Grimes and just let Rick come in from nowhere with a pistol and then just fade back into the mist. Jorah went for the nape of the neck of the polar bear. Like a titan. Titan of industry. So, they do that. Sansa gets invited to King's Landing for unknown reasons. Not likely to be good. It's too far and she refuses to talk to Cersei, so she tells Brienne to go in her place, brushing off her concerns about Littlefinger and dubious loyalty of Sansa's guards. I'm not a child, I'm the Lady of Winterfell, and I am home. Smart move, I guess. I'm kind of fed up with Sansa's Sansa Stark's storyline. In many ways, I'm fed up with it. To me, it's too little too late on so many things. We see... Oh, yeah. Let's talk about, briefly, the teleporting of these episodes. I get it. You don't have enough time to show people walking around, but it's like you don't even try to cover your fucking ass. You don't show Jon and Jorah and the Hound and all of them with packs and packs of food, you know, showing at daytime, showing at nighttime, showing at daytime, showing at nighttime. It's like, how long does it fucking take? It's literally just changing the contrast on your editing software. Just, you know, day for night that shit, and give us an idea of how long of time has passed. It's stupid that Gendry goes running, and it took them, you know, days to get here, and then he runs like Usain Bolt all the way back to the wall, and it, you know, he falls down at the door, and the slow reveal that he's all the way back at Castle Black, and Dolorous Edd opens it up, and he's like, "Who are you?" And then, you know, Davos is like, "Holy fuck, I thought you were Rowan." And then, you know, he gets up and he's like, "We have to send a raven, Ned." You know. And so, instead of sending a raven, they send it at the speed of light. And Daenerys has already read it and has already gotten her... Think about this. She already got custom winter white clothes designed just for this occasion, I would suspect. That, or she threw on a preemptive wedding dress just in case if, you know, her and Jon hit it off faster than she thought. But she was ready for every occasion with that outfit. Don't want to go down that road. I don't like what they're doing with Tyrion, trying to make him seem like he's making bad decisions. It's like, he's not bad at politics, it's just that she's not listening to him at a time when it would actually help her. So it's like, what he says isn't wrong, it's just that she's not making decisions fast enough for his stuff to be right. So it's sort of like, if you see a car coming towards you and 100 feet away, you go, "Should I get out of the way of this moving car?" And Tyrion's like, "You should get out of the way at 100 feet. And you wait till it's 10 feet away from you to think about moving again. It's like, well, it's just going to hit you head on and there's no chance of you avoiding it. You should have moved when he told you to move, you know? Tyrion has been watered down the moment he left King's Landing after the trial. Tyrion got stupid this season. Yeah, and Sansa got smart. Is that really the story that we want to go with? Tyrion got dumb and Sansa got smart? It's fucking stupid. Like when Sansa does that thing where she just goes like this, "Are they putting leather on those things?" And he goes, "No, my lady, they're not, but they should be. Harumph, harumph, harumph." And he goes, "Why is there not leather on these things?" And it's sort of like, where did she learn that? I don't... Maybe it's because they... Oh, did they show her take an embroidery class or something and that's supposed to count? I don't know. I made this for you, Jon. This skill that we've mentioned once in Season 1, once in Season 4, and now, you know... Yeah, Quixote's in the house. Do you think Tyrion's gonna turn on Dany like some... Oh, turn on Dany. Sorry, I thought like turn on Dany. Like some people are gonna say. It does seem a bit... I'm a little on the fence about it. I think it'd kind of be stupid, but then again, I think there's a reason why they had Tyrion. Maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but I think there's a reason why Tyrion just goes, you know, you just recently chose a new queen, so it is possible for you to bend your knee and your things are, your loyalties can bend, you know, and he said that to the Tarly men. Everybody's saying hey to Quixote. Let's see. Also, with the last few episodes left, stop with the bullshit. The Hound throwing rocks. Yeah, you know what? Let's give the Hound one of the most badass characters in the entire series, who has the best line deliveries, the best quips, is one of the toughest characters, and is having a redemption arc this season. Let's have him skip rocks. Hey guys, I want a giant polar bear this season, and I want the Hound to skip rocks. I think I know what I'm talking about. You know, I'm the creator of Game of Thrones. I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about here. Sansa winter tips. Wear the thermal underwear on top of your jacket. She has backstory that was never established, and that's stupid. I hate that. It's a cop-out. Sansa's smart all of a sudden. She knows everything there is to know about grain, harvesting, clothing wear for warriors, and disagrees with Jon openly, something that would have gotten her killed if she did that with Joffrey. So, the walkers start walking towards them on the ice. They get cornered by the thing. They get cornered by the whites. And the Night King and his horsemen of the apocalypse are standing up on a cliff looking off into the middle distance. That looks like they're going to die. And then, wouldn't you know it, but Deus Ex Machina comes swooping in. Drogon comes swooping in and goes, Jon, you're one of us! And Jon's like, no, the Umbers and the Karstocks take care of the White Walkers, you know. Jon tells them to fall back like they can go anywhere. Yeah, I know. They're surrounded on every side, and they're, hey, what's up, Hannibal? They're surrounded on every side. It's like, that would be like me doing this. We're trapped on the beach, and people are coming at us from the beach, and I just go, run into the ocean! If the ocean was filled with sharks that were dead. We get the shot of, fire over Jon's head as he ducks, and they burn the whites, and Dany starts saving the day, and get the hey. Who really, gives two shits. Hold on. Claudio says, the Night King didn't think of throwing some javelins at the Magnificent Seven when they were stuck on the island. He apparently forgot he was Olympic javelin thrower until the last minute. Well, that happens. I mean, the Night King's been around for hundreds of years. He's bound to have, dementia. Or, be senile. So, yeah, you ever think of that? Come on, keep up with our headspace. Come on, Claudio, keep up. Jon tries to stab his way to the Night King. The Night King takes his javelin. He does a hit, I think, was it Viserion or something? Hits it, bursts into flames, crashes. It was not that impactful for me. I kind of just was like, god damn it, these spoilers that people send out. You try to avoid this shit, but even if you see it's like a dragon dies and then that scene happens, you go, fuck. I saw it coming, and it's not like it was, really unsuspected, like it came out of nowhere. Like, if they had never shown the Night King doing this weird Hitler aiming tactic and then throwing it, and all of a sudden it just came out of nowhere, and then you just cut to the Night King and he had, released it and was like, you know what I mean? Like, doing something like that. I think that would have been cooler. But what do I know? I'm no doctor. Who spent the morning, okay. Oh, yeah, John does this. He's like, I'll save you! Run! Leave! And then he gets tackled. I don't know if you guys saw this, but he gets tackled by two perfectly healthy men. Not whites, two perfectly healthy stuntmen. They didn't even bother to make these fuckers up. And then he's just like in the water going, oh, fuck! Fuck! And, I just wanted to do that this whole time. It's, he does have to show off his sword skills. He's got very good sword skills. He did a nice spin and stab on one of them. And everyone knows you do a Hitler salute javelin throw. That's the only way to do it. That's how Hitler did it, you know? That's how I think he took Austria that way, with a javelin ice spear. But John gets out of the thing. Here's the thing. John, I keep saying the thing because I just don't care and I'm trying to rush through it to get to the last episode. John comes out of the water. Who'd have thought? Nobody drowns on this show. Everybody's a very good swimmer. Except Gendry, who doesn't know how to swim, but he's very good at rowing. John gets out of the water. His sword is just right there because... he grabs it, he gets out, and, you know, he's freezing. And who else thought it would have been really cool if when John was standing there and he was, like, holding his sword, like, come on, you fucks, like ready to die on the battlefield there, that his sword just lights on fire. You know, I thought that would have been a perfect time for something like that to fucking happen, and it didn't happen, and it just pissed me off. Because it's like, yeah, come on, do something besides, you know, Benjen Stark. Benjen? I'm sorry, the guy was really good in Season 1. Why they brought him back at this point, it's like, fuck you. That's like if Sirio Pharrell just came out of fucking nowhere with a, you know, candle or something like that on a stick and was just like, you know what we say today? Not today. You know, and just... Most men are made of water. Do you know this? I don't know why he sounds like Oberyn, but he does. Let's see what people are saying. Hasn't looked cool since Hard Home. True. Quixote agrees. That would have been lit, David. You're right. I know I'm right. You know I'm right. Or he can't move. His clothes turns into ice. What's up, Eli? That's the easiest paycheck ever earned by an actor. Benjen got paid. Oh, I just don't care, though. That's the biggest problem, is I just don't give two fucks. Fucking Rhaegal... Oh, God. Swooping down to save John would have been cooler than Benjen. And still would have been stupid. I like the Night King, says Broke Black Man. And only him. Benjen spent the whole off-season practicing with his Essence Fire thing. Well, he works at a church part-time, so that was the only weapon he has. This is from Game of Thrones Academy. Does the Night King have a dick? Yes. Ice dick. Yeah, that was a great ghost opportunity. Oh my god, that's a great fucking point. Yeah, why not ghost there? Oh, we used it on our CGI polar bear. Guys, we had to have a CGI polar bear, dudes. It'd be so cool if we fought like a fucking CGI polar bear. Fucking retards. What is up, Steven? Do you prefer Stefan or do you prefer Steven? I think it's just Steven anyways, isn't it? You would have had all them dragons bodied in that lake. Oh, we lost a lot of people, but we got so many likes. That's good. Oh, the chat is going nuts. Stannis' Night King would have already conquered Westeros. Tell them to bend the knee, or I'll destroy them. Let's see. Daenerys flies off. Jon rides to the, castle, the Eastwatch. She's standing out there. Is she waiting for a dragon? No, she's not. She's waiting for Jon. Why? Because she realized she loves him. And then they have a stupid exchange that didn't need to happen where he just goes like, thank you, Dany. He's like, oh, Dany, the last person who said that raped me. And then he just goes like, totes awkward. I'm sorry about that, but fuck. Okay, how about my queen? And she's like, ooh, getting hot and bothered. And holding hands like motherfucker. Okay. Yeah, so that's the end of that episode, basically. That's Beyond the Wall. Woo! And it's not to say that the fighting wasn't cool in some parts, but I don't know. I felt like they spent the budget on all the wrong things there. I think it could have been a lot cooler with less whites or whatever. And they just changed the number of how many White Walkers there are for the sake of changing it. It's like, oh, there's 100,000. If there was really 100,000, they would just climb over each other's bodies that were in the water until they got to the island and overtaken them. It just doesn't make sense. What they should have done is had Bran somehow make contact with Dany, telling her Jon needed her. Not that Raven shit. Maybe they'll... Yeah, I don't know. OMG, says Claudio. The chains. Hey guys, we finally have a chance to use the chains we've been carrying all this time. Let's go fishing. Ion says, the Craster wives have been weaving the dragon chains for 50 years. They need Westerosi beanies. That's a great idea. I would buy one. A beanie with, like, a Stark symbol on it? I'd love that. Do they have to foreshadow every goddamn thing in the show? Example, Dany's preggers next season. What? If that's a spoiler, god damn it. Night King should have just raised his hand like Kwai Chi and the dragonfly out of the water. Dany failed math. Plus all the Night King's army wasn't present. Dany didn't see the white giants. Yeah, whatever. Like, let's go through this bullet point thing of the last episode, just so that it could be faster, because I'm going slow through it. I know I am. Let's move this over here, you fucks. Sorry, I'm setting this on top of a Rick Grimes action figure. So it's still very Walking Dead related. No, Jon did not pull out. Nor do I give two shits. It's not the reason I watch the show. I don't watch the show to see characters get pregnant. I don't care about Cersei being pregnant, if she is, or if she's lying, or whatever. Okay. Last episode of the season, you guys. Let's get into it. I want to try to finish this in 20 minutes. Why? Because I want a piece of cake. Like, I got a cake from a Walmart, like a little slice of cake, but it's so good. And it's going to need my full attention, you guys. You ever see a cake that you're like, I can't do anything else while I'm eating it. I've got to just focus on that cake. Give it a little love. Jon's shooting frozen blanks. Now, Jon's over there with, like, his sperm just going. It's not a lemon cake. It's not a lemon cake. Sansa, your favorite cake. It's just like your mother. She used to love lemon cakes.
eating them all the time. Till eventually we had to say, Cat, that's enough lemon cake for now. I think you've had enough. She looked at me and she said, Pay Eater. Shut up and fight Rhaegar Targaryen.
Okay. Jon is confirmed as Aegon Targaryen, the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. What do I think about this? I think he's going to find out, he's going to use it for a little bit, and then in the end he's going to go, I grew up in the North, and I am a Stark. And I will always be a Stark. And it's going to go, and then, yeah. You just improved the Littlefinger death scene. They needed more talk about cake. Are they doing it? They did it in, like, reverse. Okay, their bullet points in this article are all over the place, but let's talk about something that directly affects my YouTube channel. The death of my beloved Littlefinger. Peter Baelish. Peter Littlefinger, Little Dick Baelish. Very nice, Steve. Good point. The fact, I thought that the way that they handled the Littlefinger shit. Can I cry like Littlefinger too?
I loved your mother.
And you betrayed me.
I loved you.
More than anyone. There you go.
I've loved your mother ever since I was a boy.
But it's the first time I've ever attempted that right here, right now, on this stream, so you're lucky. I thought that was a very lackluster thing to do. I think it should have been a lot more epic. If Arya was going to slit his throat, it should have been in the exact position, like right behind him, that he was when he betrayed Ed. If you were going to go that route, I would have personally... I don't know. I would have killed him more unceremoniously, but... and the logic of the scene just didn't make sense, where it's like, I demand you to take me back to the Eyrie. It's like, if it was anybody else, they just would have. And he didn't get a champion. He didn't offer a trial by combat. I thought he gave up too easily, and then he cowered for his life. Not to say that he wouldn't beg for his life, but just the way it went down. After all the Littlefinger shit, it sucks he went out on such a lame way. Sansa Roboran connected to the internet and Googled you. You found out you're a bad person. What? I don't know what that was a fucking reference to, but might as well brought Lady Mormont back to start capping out. You know what? I was thinking about that the other day, where you kind of just go like, they did want to bring her back. They said that she did so good, we wanted to bring her back. But it's like, bring her back is different than bring her back to do the same thing every single time to the same person. Yeah, but that guy's like,
and I will regret that until my dying day.
And she's like,
Lord Glover, you refuse the coal. You refuse the coal. I don't need your permission to carry a soul, Lord Glover. You refuse the coal.
The Stark children were playing Littlefinger all along. Whoa. My connection went really bad all of a sudden. So saith Galileo. I'm hoping my connection One sec. It says very bad connection, then it keeps going in and out. Hold on 2 seconds. Let's see if I can go over here. There can't be a bad connection right here. I'm literally standing still. Let's see what this was. Sansa should have sent Littlefinger to the wall. That's worse than death to Littlefinger. Sansa could have been like, for your crimes I should kill you, but I know that taking the black is far better sentence for someone like you. Rest in peace, King Bay. Marco Minko, what? Hey, really fast, can someone in the chat tell me how the connection is doing so far? I'm just going to pause for a sec. I don't want to say anything if the connection sucks. I'm good now? Okay. It just says very bad connection at the top, and there's nothing I can do to get rid of it, so... great. Okay. So Littlefinger dies, and the dumbest of ways... I would have, like... I don't know. I would have done something to where... How about this? The knife that slit... Arya's mother's throat. Littlefinger earlier in the season says, like, I would have taken that knife in my own heart if I could have. And Arya should have come up behind him and just been like, and just like stick that into his fucking heart, and we watch him bleed that way. And then that way he actually could say a last couple of words of like, but I loved you, you know, something. Two seconds. Be right back. Stay right there. Oh, yeah. The crux of the episode. It wasn't the way he was killed that sucked. I think it was the way it all unfolded to his death. I think the last couple of seasons, they've completely underutilized that character. They made him seem like he was going to have some kind of epic... you know, part to play and everything. And in a way he did up for a while, but considering how much impact he had on the show in the prior seasons to how he ended this last season, it's just been shit. I'm sorry. To me, it's just been shit. I think Sansa should have threatened Littlefinger, and he should have run off to the Vale, and it literally ends with him sitting where, like, Lysa Arryn was, and it just slowly backs out, but he has a terrified look on his face. You know what I mean? Just kind of just sitting there. He's like, I promise you'll never hear from me again. And then he just kind of retires off, and then that's it. But here's the thing, is that Sansa would be like, I command you to give me all of your armies so that I don't kill you. You know, so we keep the Knights of the Vale, and you just go back to the Vale by yourself, and you're just alone in your castle. So you have no one to fool, no impact on the world, you don't get anything, you just sit in your castle until you die. And I think that would have been a good punishment. If they did Littlefinger going to the Night's Watch, I would have had him do that in, like, Season 5, so that epic trailer for Season 6 could have ended with Littlefinger, like, or Jon going, like... Somebody pointing out to Jon, there's a man at the front gates, Lord Commander. And then he just goes, how can I help you, friend? And then he, like, Littlefinger turns around, he's like, oh, I'm sure there's a lot you could do to help me, Lord Snow. You know, it would be really cool. They played out the next slit. It would have been cool if somebody would have outsmarted Littlefinger, not just a MacGuffin to find him out. Put him in the Sky Cell. That was awesome. Throw him out the moon door. Let Robin throw him out the fucking moon door. That'd be great. manipulated this kid and give him a chance to right his wrongs by throwing, his uncle out the fucking moon door. Anyways, Jon and friends, they bring a White Walker in a crate to King's Landing. Marco Minka, says, "It took a creepy boy touching trees, sees visions, keeps saying that the three-eyed bird put him down. That how good Littlefinger was. Littlefinger's punishment, Sweet Robin, new title, new titty milk provider." Sorry. More Robin next season. Honestly, don't say that because they'll do it. They have a habit of taking all of the worst qualities of the prior season and magnifying them in the next one. So I'm sure it'll be like, we're going to get prequels galore with shit. Going to be a lot of Anakin Skywalker from the Phantom Menace type performances in the show. They better end on a high note, boy. And if they take a year and a half or however the fucking long they said they're going to take, it's like, you better make those last 6 episodes 2 hours long every episode and fucking amazing. Robin's the key to all this, you guys. But, so they bring a White Walker to King's Landing. They show Cersei. She's terrified of it, seemingly. Jaime's mortified by it because when he asks Dany how many there are, and she says like over 100,000 at least, and she's like, I didn't believe it until I saw it. The look on Jaime's face was like, holy fuck, we need to fight with them because like there's not going to be anything to fight left over if we don't help them. Very smart thing for Jaime to say. Very true. Cersei, just kind of being her dumb, relentless self, just keeps saying like, I played them, that the Euron storming off saying he was afraid was just bullshit. I told him to do that. Jaime clearly explains to her that, they don't stand a chance against the dragons, let alone if the dead come. And he said, no matter what the outcome of the North, either people or the dead come and we get killed by whoever comes. Because we didn't help. And then she's like, we have the Iron Bank and the Golden Company and blah, blah, blah. It's like, you know what? Stop introducing more shit to the fucking show. Just, cut it out. The last season, you're going to introduce a whole, part of the world that we just really don't talk about that much. We've seen the Iron Bank, 2 or 3 times. It's really not that fucking pressing. I don't know. I just didn't care. It made more sense to do that shit when Tywin was around. It doesn't make any sense to do that shit now. Too little, too late. Sorry. If you had more seasons to go, I'd say go for it. But you don't, so don't. What are these people fucking saying? Only one I really think has an amazing ending is Breaking Bad. My parents just finished that. I just got them to watch that entire show, and they loved it. Are we going to get a new character next season? I'm sure he will. Very few and well. Somebody said, Broke Black Man's stream that George R. R. Martin wrote himself into a corner and doesn't know how to end the saga. I agree. The show has nothing to do with George R. R. Martin now. So, Tyrion said she put too much emphasis on money. What do you guys, let me ask you, do you guys think that Cersei's actually pregnant? I've heard theories of people going, she is actually pregnant and she's going to give birth to a dwarf and it's going to kill her in childbirth. Or do you think she's just manipulating Jaime? Because it does seem like she would lie about such a thing and then say, I would do anything to protect my family. She's pregnant. Okay, looks like so far we got more people saying she's pregnant than not. Why the fuck do they confirm things? I fucking hate that. I will say this, on this channel, if I talk about any of the Walking Dead or the prequel, whatever the fuck they end up doing, don't tell me if they confirm anything. I hate it. I hate it so fucking much. I think it's so stupid. There's no point in even watching the show if you're just going to read all the scripts and spoil the show for people and confirm things. It drives me insane. What's the fucking point? Maybe it's because I'm biased, and if I was writing the show, I would be mortified if the whole premise of the show got leaked out by some disgruntled PA. The best scenes in the show came directly from the books. If they no longer had to do with each other, that explains the downgrade in quality. That is the downgrade in quality. George R. R. Martin has not been helping them on the show for about the last year and a half. Due to creative differences. Who'd have thought? But anyways, they bring the white there, they kill it in front of it, they talk about how you can kill it with dragon glass or with fire. They kind of confirm that the Hound is going to try to fight his brother at some point. Really stupid that they didn't do that this season. Think that's kind of a fucking waste. Because everybody thought it was going to happen this season, and the most that we got out of that is you know who's coming for you. It's like, god damn it, we knew that fucking seasons ago. Jon Snow needs to work on his public speaking. It's interesting that Tyrion, people questioning where his loyalties lie, and he's also saying, like, can't you just learn how to lie a little bit? Because maybe Tyrion is lying a little bit. You never know. Oh, get hyped next year. A whole year to get hyped. I'm sure that's exactly what the fan base will be doing. They won't be bitching and moaning about where it's going. Even if they do it, it's not going to be... People have been waiting for it for too long. They're just going to be fucking pissed off. They're going to be like, oh man, we waited fucking 3 seasons for this. It's how it always goes. And that's the problem. People expect too much from the show. People have too many fan theories, and basically they talk about it too much. When I first got into the show, people did not talk about this show the way that they do now. Because now it's all about just getting the first information out there without even knowing if it's true or not. It's like, I think this, I have a theory about that, but I really don't know about this. And it's like, listen, talking about theories just kind of like this, like conversational, is fine. But if you're like looking for like what George R. R. Martin said is going to happen in the story, it's like, well, then you're just ruining it. There's no point in you even watching. But I already harped on that enough. Really quick, but the people who are watching, if I had to ask you to rate this episode on a scale of 1 to 10, and then this season on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you say for the episode, and what would you say for the season overall? This episode, 8.9. This season, 7.5. Fair enough. 7 for both. 7 to 7. Both are 7s. Well, it seems like people are pretty consistent on that. 7 and 7. Episode 7, season 7 are both 7s. So 4 7s. 28. Whole season ranks as a 28. I'd have to agree with that. I think it was okay. The stuff that I loved in the show, I really loved. The things that I dislike in the show, I really dislike. I know that sounds really general, but that's kind of honestly how I feel. I think that I did expect too much from this season because too many people had put out there what could be awesome, what could happen, and it's the one thing I dislike about all the channels I subscribe to is the need to hype so much of this shit. Because if you just go in with normal expectations, like if you didn't see movie trailers and then you went in and watched Inception, I think you'd be like blown away. But the fact that you watch it, even just a trailer for stuff and a preview or a teaser or behind the scenes or whatever, it just takes that little extra of escapism away, and it makes you overthink shit. Like, I think it's because, we all are investigating about, what's going to happen in the show, that we get so caught up with the time frame in the show, which is why we all are harping on the teleportation shit. We don't, and we stop focusing on what we enjoy and we just start focusing on what they're going to show. And that's, there's no point in enjoying a show like that. I think episode 4 was good. It was. I think there was episode 2 or something. Oh, sorry, you guys are just talking about trailers now. My bad. I'm all over the place right now. I'm thinking about that cake, to be honest. Honestly, if episode 6 had been written better, I'd probably have less problems. Yeah, I think this season, aside from that beginning part with Arya killing House Frey, I think Arya has been terrible. I think writing Sansa as all of a sudden being smart is bad. I think Kit Harington playing Jon Snow, he nails it every season. But he's just doing what they're telling him to do. But they're not giving any of the actors who need good stuff the good stuff. Varys. Why did Varys stop being involved in the show pretty much? Or is he involved? Are we going to find out that he's involved? It's like, fuck. Let me ask you seriously, have you even thought about Varys for the last 4 episodes? There was a time where I was questioning, if Varys is a Targaryen, and, if when he got his balls chopped off and thrown into the fire, the sorcerer was the reason that he was creating the storm in which Dany was born, and so through some weird magic ritual, Varys had some part in that. I used to think all this crazy shit because of Varys' slimy kind of attitude and desire to see her ascend to the Iron Throne, and I thought there might have been some kind of familial tie there, and it just went out the fucking door. I agree. My best friend Alec, he says that Dany has just been uninteresting pretty much since season 1 because pretty much anything that she wants, she inevitably gets. She gets the guy that she wants, and she gets to break up with him. She gets to friend zone people. She gets to conquer a place. She comes there, she conquers it. She leaves, she goes conquer somewhere else. That place immediately goes back to shit. She leaves that new place, it goes back to shit. She conquers a new place. Now she's the Queen of Dragonstone, and probably if she ever leaves Dragonstone, it'll just have a huge earthquake and crumble into the fucking ocean. So maybe we can count on that. Who knows? Can they fix the series and finish strong next season? It's a good question. I don't know. It's the same with The Walking Dead. It's kind of like, can you guys right this ship? You got, a season or, a half season to right the ship. Otherwise, you're really going to fuck yourselves. And, we want it to be good. We want to love it. You guys have so much goodwill, Game of Thrones people, going your way. Don't waste it. Hold on 2 seconds. I would love to work for Game of Thrones. Yeah, quit leaking shit. That's another thing. One sec. One sec. Phone's dying. Okay. Yeah, stop leaking stuff. Stop leaking behind the scenes stuff. And mostly that is, like I said, that's aimed at the fan base. Stop doing that. Also, fan base. Stop saying, just like the Walking Dead fan base, if this guy gets killed off, I fucking riot. If they go this way, I fucking riot. It's like, will you just let these people make a goddamn decision and stick with it? Because when you affect their decisions, you make the show worse. Because most of you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm not talking about the select group of fans who love the show and who read the books and all that stuff. I'm talking about the people who are like, I hope I ship them. I fucking ship Tormund and Brienne. If they don't do that, it's fucking gay. God, I hope the Hound and Arya get married. All this stupid shit. Let's see. Just be competent, HBO. Can't be hard. Oh, God. Season 8, I ain't looking at shit. I hear you, BBM. I'll be DJ11 and Monero and shit. I wouldn't have let the show get this big of scale and get this much worse. I know I compare it to The Walking Dead, but that's kind of what my channel's fucking aimed a little bit towards. These two shows, and in a lot of ways they have a lot of similarities and these last couple of seasons, because Game of Thrones from seasons 1 through 5 was amazing. Walking Dead got better every season all the way up to season 5, but season 6 and 7, when they started listening to the audience about who they could kill without people rioting and what storyline was cool and blah blah blah, it's like it really started tanking. George R. R. Martin stopped really talking with D&D, and Robert Kirkman is, suing The Walking Dead, and it's like you get these around season 5 and 6, you get all these fucking problems, and it's like they're self-fulfilling prophecies. You're making the problems worse because you just are making the problems worse. You don't even know why you're making it worse, you just are. I heard the leaks for season 7 and it took out of it for some of the episode. Stop the fan service. I agree. See, that's the thing. I thought all the leaks were going to be bullshit too. And I'm telling you, I love these people too, but when I saw Phil and then Azora Hype doing live streams about the leaked episodes, I was like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. It's like, just look the other way. It's like, I'm sorry, even if it is December 24th, I don't want to open up my Christmas present till tomorrow. That's the whole fucking point of tomorrow. It's like, that's why Christmas is Christmas. You don't open shit up the day before your birthday or the day after. You open it on the day of so that the day has meaning to you. If you open it on any given Sunday or any fucking day, it doesn't really matter. It means less. And it's just a goddamn shame. To come back to the show for a sec. It ends with Tormund and the wildlings on Eastwatch witnessing the White Walkers walk up to the wall. They're all standing there silently, and then the Night King flying on the Ice Dragon fires like blue fire, or I guess magic, and crushes the wall. The wall collapses. And it ends with a very Desolation of Smaug kind of ending. I'm surprised they didn't just cut to, Bilbo Baggins going, my God, what have we done? It's what it seemed like. It's, I don't know. I thought it was a very lackluster end of the season.
You know, if I'm being honest. And I don't like that because I'm invested in these characters, and there's so much good shit they could do. They could pick so many variants of the storyline and make an amazing show. And it's like they're not focusing enough on one thing. They keep going off. It's like, listen, with these side characters, if they're side characters and they're pointless, stop bringing them on. Focus on the important ones. Same with Walking Dead. Stop deviating away from Rick Grimes. It's the whole reason people watch that goddamn show. If you think they're watching it for fucking Tara and Denise having a weird, awkward lesbian discussion before they go out on a supply run, you're fucking wrong, AMC. And same with you, HBO. If you think people give two fucks about what's going on with Theon right now, get fucked. Yeah, I don't know. If the fan base improves and they stop treating leaks like things that we want, and we want to wait, and we all are patient, then it's fine. Because I'm sorry, I get that you're trying to ride the YouTube wave, but you know what? Why don't you just enjoy the show? Even entertainers need something to escape into. And I see these people who read all these spoilers and who look at all these leaks, who are the first on it, and I got the rumored of who's Rhaegar being played by and all that stuff, and it's like, I think it takes a lot of it away from you. People who already read the stories, I mean, you know that you've watched podcasts where the person knows the plot of the entire next episode before it even aired, and it hasn't even leaked yet. They know the entire plot. And they're trying to play dumb. You know what I mean? Where you're just kind of going like, you know, like somebody proposes something and they go, no, that's not going to happen. And they say it's so assured because it's like they already looked it up. They already know it's not going to happen. And that ruins it too. Taking away people's hope that, oh, maybe fucking Clegane Bowl's going to go down. And then they just go, no, Clegane Bowl's not going to go down. Maybe they'll talk or something like that for a second, but it ain't going down like that. Well, don't worry. Like I said, I just avoid the guys who I subscribe to for, you know, the week prior to the episodes being released. And now that the season's over, I'll go back and I'll watch their stuff and see what they had to say. Because I can separate the two. Has nothing to do with how I feel for them personally. It's just, you know, I choose not to have things spoiled for me. It's the same thing with movies. If right as I was about to walk into a movie, somebody told me the whole plot of the movie, then what's even the point in going to see it? I just had some fuckface ruin it for me. Like right before I saw it. Like right before. I've walked away from movies. I've gotten refunds on tickets because people spoiled the movie while I was in line. Because they were going to go see another movie. Then someone goes, oh, what about that Guardians movie? And they just go, here's the premise of Guardians. And then they just say the entire movie. I'm like, great, well, I can just go home now. Thanks, whoever the fuck you were. You know, like... Overall, this season is a 7.5. This episode is a 7.5. And because you're dealing with a lot of 9s and a lot of 9.5s and a lot of 5s when you're dealing with scene after scene. So this scene's a 9, that scene's a 5, that scene's a 10, that scene's a 4, that scene's a 8, that scene's a 6, and you just kind of ends up getting into the middle here. And I want there to be more good than bad. Come on, Game of Thrones, you can fucking do it. I know you can fucking do it. Can't be that hard. You got so much to talk about. Can't be that hard. Take out E4. Season is a 5.5. E4. I'm trying to remember the exact title of... Oh, of course there's still more good than bad. Like, listen, I go back and I rewatch the first, 6 seasons of Game of Thrones. I think they're great. I thought season 6 was great in its own right. There's a lot of things I didn't see coming. I didn't see the Sept of Baelor getting blown up. I didn't see any of that really coming, and I really enjoyed it, but I avoided spoilers so much. This season, it's like everybody grew a wild hair up their ass, and everybody had to spoil this. They just had to. Had to. There was not one person who didn't keep their mouth shut. If they saw the leaked episode, not one person had the balls to not watch it, except me and my friends. Spoils of war. Yeah, that was a... I will say this. Nikolai Coster-Waldau is arguably the best actor of this entire season. And I wouldn't have said that necessarily in previous seasons. I think he's an amazing actor. But this season, he really shined. In every single scene he had was just on point. Loved his stuff. I loved the him and Bronn stuff. I loved the battle with the Dothraki and Drogon. And the... what do you call it? The bolt firing thing. Starts with an S. Scorpion. And Bronn firing that. I thought that was great. That was right out of the Game of Thrones history and lore. I think that stuff is awesome. Well, good. I'm glad you didn't ruin it for anybody. That's good. There were a lot of people that I knew, though, I know that's anecdotal, but it's all I got, who did, frankly. And it took a lot out of it for me. It really does. Spoilers really do upset me. And, I think it's just because I really want to be... I am in the industry, but I want to be in it more. I want to be a bigger presence in it. And I don't want to ever condone that people spoil stuff. So, anyways, this has been going for, nearly an hour and a half. So, almost that. So, anyways... If you enjoyed this stream, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up. I would love it if you shared it with people. If I didn't tangent too much. I'm sure I did. It was a late night stream. It was my bad. But, and completely impromptu. Like I said, I don't write shit down for these because I don't like stuff that seems so scripted because those are just boring to me. Where it's just, point by point, here's what everybody else said. I don't want to do that. So... if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel or tell people about my channel. I do aim on doing a lot of Littlefinger videos coming up because now that he's gone, who's going to be your resource for the best Littlefinger voice? I think it's going to be me.
I think it's going to be me. And I'll do anything to get what I want.
We need new Littlefinger meets John meets Rick Grimes skit. I actually did have one where it was going to be Littlefinger talking to Rick Grimes, and then talking to John. I just need help with my friends to shoot that one. But I have some ideas. They'll be short. I usually keep them relatively short. They'll be 1 minute to 3 minutes long, but I'll try to get some stuff out there and, I have some interesting ideas, and I think this next year will be fun for doing impersonation videos and little skits and stuff like that. Hot Throne Theory all the way, baby. I'm so glad that people like that stuff. Alt-Shift-X is definitely not my best impression. I do have a few that are kind of wishy-washy, and he's one of them. But even Alt-Shift-X commented on that video, so I was extremely pleased. But, yeah, alright. Well, that was my review and or discussion about Game of Thrones Season 7, Episodes 6 and 7, the final 2 episodes of Season 7. Good stuff overall. Could be better. I hope it will be better. I think they can still save it. They can still end on a positive note. If you see spoilers, don't spoil things. If you see leaked episodes, don't watch it. And just watch it on Sunday like everybody else and be mesmerized. So I just want to thank you all for watching. I'm David Grayson. This is The Walking David, and I will talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.